All right. You guys ready to see some more comedy? We got a great comic coming to the stage. Make some noise for the very funny Mike Ryan, everybody. Come on. All right.
I'm not from Austin. And I was born in Texas. I'm from Houston. Hey, it's not Dallas, all right? Fuck y'all. No, but I love New Braunfels, man. Like, when I picture Texas in my head, it's this area, right? And like, this is, I know a Bass Pro Shops hate to see y'all coming, dude. This is a real Texas out here for sure. Love it. I've been doing comedy a couple years now, and one thing that I've discovered is that I don't fit in. I don't fit into the comedy scene in Houston where I'm from. I don't fit in with all these other stand-up comedians. Mainly because like they all grew up class clowns or they're molested. The lucky ones were both. And I feel like at 37 years old, I'm too old for either of those things to happen to me. At least without it being my fault. Like, if I get molested at 37 years old, that's on me. That's my bad. What was I wearing? But no, I am 37 and I do feel old. I feel old because there's things in the world that I don't understand. And if I don't understand something, I don't believe in it. If I don't believe in it, it doesn't exist, right? Like ghosts. I don't believe in ghosts, so ghosts don't exist. Or, what's the word for it? What's that thing that women are always saying men do where they tell them that a situation happened differently than they remember? What is it? That's not a real word. Did you just make that up or what? Sounds pretty crazy to me. You always do this. You're just like your mom. But now the main one is autism. I don't think that autism is real. And I don't think that autism is real because of how adults that say they have autism talk about having autism. Like, they talk about having autism the same way that white people used to talk about being part Native American. Like, I'm 1/16 Cherokee. I'm 1/8 autistic because my grandma's autistic. I'm like, I don't think it works like that. We're putting the college application. We'll see how much FAFSA you get. Because I was born in the 80s, right? And autism didn't exist in the 80s. There was no autism in the 80s. You had two options. Either retarded or you weren't. That was it. Those were your only two options in the 80s, all right? Well, some people were right on the cusp, you know? If you're right on the cusp, you better be good at football or else high school's gonna suck. I was all district. Comedy's a lot of fun. I got to do a few shows in San Antonio recently. That was pretty cool. First time I've been in San Antonio in like 10 years, for a reason. Last time I was there, I almost died. I tried to start a fight with a 6'6" Guatemalan. Yeah, I didn't know they came in that size either, all right? But I know he was from San Antonio because he had a Spurs tattoo on his neck and 210 tattooed across his forehead. You get the picture. This isn't a guy that I should be fighting, which is the fucked up thing because I was the aggressor in the situation. I'm drunk, I'm talking shit. I pull this man's cowboy hat off of his head and put it onto mine. He's doing everything in his power to not have to beat the shit out of me. And finally he just says, look, dude, you don't want to do this. I know Krav Maga. If you don't know what Krav Maga is, it's the Israeli self-defense that they teach their military. The baddest dudes on the planet know Krav Maga. And that is what saved my life. Miscommunication. Because I thought he said he knew Tim McGraw. I got so excited I forgot I was even trying to fight the guy. I was like, you know the Indian Outlaw? That's a Tim McGraw song. At that point, I was just living like I was dying. That's another Tim McGraw song. He got so fed up, he just grabbed his girlfriend and was like, babe, let's get out of here. I was like, don't take the girl. That's another Tim McGraw song. I was really lucky he didn't punch me in the face over and over again. That's a Nelly song featuring Tim McGraw. Look, guys, we have 17 more minutes on Tim McGraw, so... Nah, I'm just kidding. I'm done talking about Tim McGraw. But did y'all like it? Yeah. Did you love it? Do you want some more? Okay, that was the last one. All right. But I hope when you think of Tim McGraw, you think of me. Look at all these white people knowing the Taylor Swift song. In Houston, I have to do a lot of black comedy clubs, so I wrote that joke where it explains the Tim McGraw songs. I probably didn't have to do that part here. I think everybody knew every Tim McGraw song here. That was great, except the Nelly one. I don't know if you guys can tell from my personality or my fashion sense, but my wife left me. Yeah, she didn't even like to be held, dude. She didn't like to be held in bed. She didn't like to be held on the couch. She didn't like to be held accountable. She avoided accountability like the floor is lava, you know? Like, she actually made me believe that trans women are real women. Yeah, because I'm like, fuck, dude, if they can avoid accountability that much, that's a real woman. All right, I wrote that today. We'll take that out tomorrow, all right, guys? I know you guys have never seen a trans person before, but they're there. They're there. No, but because my wife left me, I've been going to a lot of strip clubs lately. I know you. I saw on your Instagram story, she's like, these beers are tasting like I'm gonna be trouble. That's not even a beer.
This is my third margarita.
That's her third margarita. She was pre-gaming before she got here. I don't know what that means. Give me one more. I know what that means. Back to the strip club. All right. So I've been going to a lot of strip clubs lately, and the other day I was at a strip club and I saw something I've never seen in a strip club before in my entire life. A blind man. I was like, damn, dude. It's probably cheaper listening to Akon at home. He was singing aggressively loud for the situation. He was like, I see you winding and grinding up on that pole. And I was like, no, you don't. But I felt terrible because he threw like 600 singles at the cigarette machine. And all I could think is how lucky this guy is that I am not his friend. Because he'd be like, hey, Mike, will you take me to the strip club? And I'd be like, of course. Get in the car. And then I would drive around my neighborhood for 20 minutes. I'd come right back to my house, put some Akon on and watch him throw all of his money in my living room. He gets a little suspicious. I throw a little ass. Y'all like the gay shit, but not the trans shit? Like, here's the line. All right. But no, really, my wife left me. And then like 2 days later, no bullshit, 2 days later, they took away Pornhub in Texas. That's fucked up, dude. Greg Abbott was like, if I can't feel my dick, nobody can. Yeah, that shit sucked, dude. You got so bad this morning to jack off using my imagination. Turns out, pretty fucking gay, dude. Pretty fucking gay. I had no idea. How am I supposed to tell my mom that I'm a Democrat now? I'm not going to be one without the other. I'm not going to vote against my own rights. Man, you guys really don't like Democrat jokes. It's all right, I'm one of you. That's so stupid. Pornhub, yeah. All right, that's where we're at. Let me ask you guys a question. You think Pornhub benefited men more or women more? There's no wrong answer. Just shout it out.
Yes.
All right, there's one wrong answer. Men more or women more? You got two options, right? It's like being retarded or not. Like, which one? Men or women? I feel like the majority is saying men, right? So let me tell you why you're wrong. Ladies, let's take a little poll. Can you trust anything that a man says when his dick is hard? No. At all. Why are you looking? You told me we were going to Martha's Vineyard. No. What the fuck, dude? You can't, though. But to be fair, it's not our fault. It's not our fault. Because we don't even know that we're lying. We believe the things that we say when our dick is hard. I'll give you a few examples. I once got so horny, I told a woman I was going to put her through nursing school. She didn't even have a GED, all right? I once got so horny, I told a woman I was going to buy her a Nissan Altima. I didn't even have a job at the time, right? Men lie, but women lie too. Y'all just lie about different things, like till death do us part. Remember, because my wife, okay, no, we're good. Wife left, Pornhub gone, had to start dating again. That sucks. Let me ask you guys a question. When did women get so much self-esteem? Like, I don't know if it's Megan Thee Stallion or Ice Spice or that fucking bitch Lizzo. But somebody's fucking my shit up. Because the thing about me is I've always been able to date really beautiful women that were willing to settle, you know? Like a 9 that thinks she's a 6 and doesn't realize that I'm a 3. And now you got 3s that think they're a 9 and they fucking know I'm also a 3. But it's kind of like algebra, right? You got to solve for x to find your equal. So if I'm a 3, but I have health insurance for all dependents, guess who's a 4? And she's a 6, but she has 2 kids. -1, -2. Guess who's also a 4? Welcome to my level. My girlfriend broke up with me over that joke. She had 2 kids. She refused to believe that that joke wasn't about her. I'm like, here's a video of me doing that joke before we ever met. Refuses to believe it. Right? She's like, oh, you think I'm a 6? Huh? You think I'm a 6? I'm like, first of all, this is why we're breaking up. You don't listen. You're a 4. Yeah, dating sucks. I don't really date. I just kind of rebuild their self-esteem until they go find their forever home, you know? Yeah. It sucks. You guys have Renaissance festivals out here? No? Yes, no? Y'all ever been to a Renaissance festival? So you at least know what I'm talking about, right? There's a documentary on HBO Max about the Texas Renaissance Festival. It's the one about an hour north of Houston. You guys should check it out. It's great. I love it. I love it because it proves a theory that I've had for a long time, that the cooler a person is at the Renaissance Festival, the more of a loser that person is in real life. I'll give you a few examples. You're at the Renaissance Festival and you see a guy with a turkey leg. You're like, where'd you get that turkey leg? If I had a turkey leg on this stage right now, you'd be very concerned for my well-being. You're at the Renaissance Festival, you see a guy dressed up like a pirate. You're like, my kid loves pirates. Can they take a picture of you? If I was dressed up like a pirate right now, you'd be very concerned for your well-being. You're at the Renaissance Festival, you see a woman in a corset, titties popping out, right? You're like, that's pretty cool. If there was a woman sitting right there in a corset with her titties popping out, that one's pretty cool in both situations, actually. Let me rephrase it. The cooler a man is at the Renaissance. I got a buddy, his name is Rick the Dick. And he got himself into a bit of an Angels in the Outfield situation. You guys know the movie Angels in the Outfield, right? So it's about like a kid that's in foster care, and he asked his dad when we're going to be a family again, and his dad says when the Angels win the pennant. So my buddy was dating this, we'll call her a woman, and they'd been together for a while, and she had a daughter that wasn't his, but she called him dad and all that stuff, right? So one day this little girl comes up to him and says, Dad, when are you going to quit drinking? And he said, when the Astros win the World Series. 4 months later, the Astros won the World Series. And he kept his promise. Can we make some noise for that? Huh? He kept his promise. But he didn't keep his promise to that little girl. He kept his promise to me, and he left her mom. He lives in my guest bedroom now. I asked him when he was going to move out. He said when the Cowboys win the Super Bowl, so it's probably going to be a while. Not a lot of Cowboys fans in here, huh? Or are they? I don't know. You are? Oh, man. When did you come out of the closet? Hell yeah. Still in there? Nah, you out, bro. Look who you're sitting next to, dude. Come on. The guy from California? Come on. All right, I'll leave you guys with this. I've talked a lot of shit up here, so what I like to do is end my sets by taking myself down a few pegs. So I'm going to tell you guys the most embarrassing thing that's ever happened to me in my entire life, and this is a true story. I was 14 years old. I was in first period English class. It was Spirit Week. You guys know what Spirit Week is? It's like homecoming, different theme every day, and you have to dress up for the theme. Well, today's theme was Nerd Day, which my English teacher, who was also the cheerleading coach and a stone cold fox, took as, I'm going to dress up like Britney Spears in the Hit Me Baby One More Time video. Knee-high socks, plaid skirt, shirt tied up, titties popping out, right? I'm 14. What do you think happened? That's right, I got a boner. But it felt different. It felt strange. Didn't feel like any boner I'd ever had before. The bell rings, everybody gets up, walks out of class. I get up last because I don't want to see me pitch in a tent. And I realized why it felt different. My fly was down. And my fully erect penis was on the outside of my pants. My teacher looks at me, looks at my dick, looks at me, looks at my dick, looks at me, looks at my dick. I did what any man in this room would do. I started praying. Are you there, God? It's me, your boy. If you could just make something happen to distract her from this, so my high school career isn't ruined 2 weeks after it started, I will devote my life to you, God. I walked out of the classroom. My best friend was waiting on me. He said, man, that's crazy that happened. I said, fuck. How does everybody already know? He said, I have no idea what you're talking about, but a plane just flew into the World Trade Center. And that's the true story about how I found out about 9/11. I kept my promise, though. I've been a devout Muslim for 24 years. God didn't come through for me that day, but Allah, that's my boy. That's my time, guys. My name is Mike Ryan. Assalamu alaikum. You have a great night.
Make some noise for Mike Ryan one more time. A great, great set.